Before we begin, feel where your body is touching something. The chair, the floor, the ground beneath your life. You don't have to agree with me. You don't need to improve anything. Just let your body listen. This is not advice. This is a transmission. Take what lands and leave the rest. I want to tell you about the one thing I was sure that would finally make me feel whole, make me whole. The homecoming. Getting back into law in Vienna after 9 years of wandering the world. I fought so hard to get back in. All the applications I wrote, all the interviews I had, how I translated this experience of 9 years into a resume. And when I finally got in, I got into environmental law, the dream. I felt nothing. The homecoming fantasy. It was supposed to feel like home. It was supposed to be good. And I had uprooted my entire life. I had started building in British Columbia, in Canada, with this intention to first accompany my partner at the time, who wanted to go back to Europe for work. And second, I was on a mission. I was driven. I really wanted to get admitted to the bar, sit through those 2 more years as an associate, and write my bar exam, get admitted to the bar, and then really for environmental reasons, for fairness reasons, for justice reasons. And it was supposed to feel good when I finally got that yes, after negotiating and showing up so many times, when I had this contract and signed it and they signed it, and I had this beautiful apartment with a beautiful partner. It felt like I was proving myself over and over again after all these years away. I just was in the same cycle. And I did. I did prove myself again. Day one, let me try to remember. I think it was spring-ish. Day one. Walking into this prestigious building I already told you about, in the prestigious first district. Beautiful, yeah, like so cultural, so historical, so much beauty. Walking into that office, and definitely some giddiness and excitement. But it was not quite right. It was not quite right. And I expected to feel arrival, landing, wholeness, and finally being someone again. Portrait photo on the website with all my history and all my accomplishment and achievements, and being part of a team too, right? Like standing up for this common cause. And I actually felt numb. I felt flat. I felt slightly disgusted. It's like stale metallic taste on your tongue. And I realized that making it didn't make me feel anything. I had this freedom number, and still do. I still have this freedom number that I'm attached to. When I make 6,000 a month, I'm fine. That's my magical number. I thought that number would give me ease, peace, exhale, freedom, safety, arrival, like almost like permission to exist. The fantasy I had was, if I make this much, if I'm in this position making this much, everything would be okay. I didn't make that much as an associate, like just starting back again after 9 years away. But the fantasy of this number was what kept me going. Plus, wanting to be admitted to the bar. I wanted that so badly. And it's something I'm still sitting with. That's a question I'm still sitting with to this day. Does my body actually believe that money equals safety? Or is there something underneath? And I could go into, I've worked so hard, so much in the past few years on actually cultivating a sense of safety inside of me. And I'll share more about that another time. But really this ingrained belief that money equals safety. Solutions that didn't work for me. I was like the first wave of like trying to fix it, trying to make myself right, trying to make myself belong. Like underneath it all, there was a longing to be a part of something, which is so human, right? It's like so universal to want to belong, the longing to be a part of something. So first wave, Flora in her 20s. I mean, it started earlier than that, but really big in my 20s, alcohol. Lots of it. So much. And how do you say that in English? Like I could drink a lot. I was a hardcore drinker. Another solution was sex. I looked for connection. I found transaction. Most of it intoxicated, empty, shallow. Blah. Another solution, drugs. To feel something, anything. Though they really came into my life later, in my later 20s. Overworking. Overworking was another solution. 60 to 80 hours a week to prove my worth, especially in Law 1.0. I worked so hard. I put in so many hours. Running, another solution. Another solution to feel free, feel something. Running. I always loved to run, and especially Law 1.0, I would walk out of the office by 10, 11 p.m., go to the gym, run on the treadmill in very bright fluorescent light. That would be cute. Phosphorescent light in the gym. No, fluorescent light, just running to total exhaustion. Also as a way to turn myself off, right? Because otherwise the brain just keeps going and going and going, as you probably know. Another solution, traveling. Yeah, pack up my bags after Law 1.0, travel the world. Go do all those cool things which externally looked like huge achievements. Yeah, like Flora has lived in this place and in that place, and she went there and she did that. Looked cool on the outside. On the inside, I was running away. Now I know. The pattern, plastering my life full with external experiences. So there was no space left for the internal ones. Band-aids of doing on the outside. No more space for any internal experiences, really. Then, the second wave of fixing, the spiritual solutions. I mean, really intense physical yoga practice. The first time I went to India to study yoga in Mysore, I was totally committed to Ashtanga yoga, which is a physically very intense practice. You practice the same sequence every morning, 6 a.m., 6 times a week. And it's intense, it's hardcore. Sitting in meditation for hours every day, especially after having done my first Vipassana. Like, I would sit. And meditation is great. Love meditation. And it can also be numbing. It can be a mechanism to check out. Like, look at me, I'm meditating, I'm still. And it's also a way to actually prevent noticing what's going on the inside. It's a great way to learn how to switch yourself off. Veganism was another part of the second wave, the spiritual solution. I do love animals, and seeing animal transporters as a kid on the highway would always make me cry. And I became vegetarian when I was 13. Long story short, veganism was a conscious choice. And now, after having been vegan for 7 years and stopping that a while ago, it was control disguised as purity. It's quite any kind of, let's not go there. But the spiritual solutions were really more control, more discipline, more structure, less aliveness, just boxing myself in more, like putting on hats, putting on identities, masks. I'm a great yogi, I'm vegan, I meditate, dun, dun, dun. So, even the more spiritual solutions were just more sophisticated numbing. I was still running. But the optics might have been better. Maybe the optics were better. From the outside, it looked like I was very healthy. True. I was taking care of myself. True. I was showing up for myself. All of that true. But the inside, still no bueno. Still not good. And then, many years later, when I decided to settle down in Vancouver, BC, that's a whole story in itself too. But Vancouver was the first time in a decade almost, like in 9 years, that I lived in one place for a full year. After so many years of constant motion, constant running, big exhale, but also so much coming up. So the staying, what it looks like to stay when every cell of your body wants to run. It was hard. It was really hard. And it was so my time to finally be still. And with this geographical stillness forced the somatic truth out of me. It forced out of me what I've been running away from. So when I chose to not run anymore, everything I've been avoiding came up. Yeah, everything my body's intelligence kept me safe from bubbled up. The body really stops you. Yeah, the body is so smart. It can stop you in your tracks. You can't get out of bed in the mornings. The body is literally refusing. I had my first experiences with that in school already as a teenager, where it was just like, no more, stop. Throwing up when I arrived at work. Yeah, just this like complete overwhelm, being so fed up. When I stepped into the building of that law firm, often my first way was straight to the bathroom, throwing up, like, bleh, so disgusted. Took many times before I started listening. In Malawi, I managed a boutique hotel on a tea farm in Malawi. See what I'm doing now? I'm telling you what I did, an achievement. Funny. In Malawi, I lived there for almost a year. I got malaria. And I thought I was just hungover. Again, the body... Ooh. Again, the body stops you. And I was going so hard, right? I was working so hard. I was drinking so hard. I was partying so hard. And waking up with like so much pain. Oh my goodness. Like worst experience ever. Don't get malaria. Just don't. I couldn't move. My partner at the time was a sweetheart though. And he picked me up in the evening, looked at me and was like, Flora, you've got malaria. I'm like, I'm fine. And he's been living there for, like, I think he was third generation. And it's like, yeah, no, you're not. You're not fine, Flora. Stop it. And he packed me up and got this test, and where you poke your finger and put a drop of blood into this test, and bing. It doesn't make bing, but it's just like I had so much malaria. And he looked after me. He took exquisite care of me, but the pain of malaria, holy smokes. Body stopped me full on, and the time to recover from that takes a long time. I was so disconnected from my body. I was so disconnected from my body's emergency signals. Yeah, there were over the years, over my lifetime, the body offered me a few full stops. Yeah, like full stops. Screaming, stop, just stop, pause, slow down. I could not. I was so hardwired for the running, the doing. And even in, the freer times, the days of the travels, of working all over the world. In Vienna 2.0, a therapist and a physician finally made me stop. I remember, like, oh my God, I was so dead. Like, I was literally this skin shell, dragging myself to the office, and constant, my digestion was off, sleepless, exhaustion, headaches. And then one physician, she looks at me and is like, Flora, you need to stop. I'm going to put you on leave right now, and you need to take a break. I did not like that. I didn't like it. And I almost feel like with Law 2.0, it was almost like some old identity was still trying to rein me in, catch up with me. Like, look, you can still do the thing. You can still do the thing. But my body was too loud. I couldn't do the thing anymore. I tried everything. And nothing worked. Nothing worked. Because I was trying to fix from the outside. I was trying to fix from the outside what could only be felt and experienced and transmuted and alchemized from the inside. I tried to put strategy on somatic patterns. I layered strategy on somatic issues. You cannot think your way into feeling. You can't strategize your way into aliveness. The nervous system doesn't negotiate. It just waits for you to listen, or pulls the plug for you to listen. All the credentials, all the coaching, all the biohacking, none of it touches the body's deep truth. Fixing actually deepens the numbness. Every solution becomes another form of control. If you just do the thing, get up at 5 a.m., meditate, do a cold plunge, you'll be fine. If you just yes and no. You're managing the symptoms and you're not listening to the signals. The pattern, I numbed with substance, I numbed with achievement, I numbed with spirituality. So many ways to numb, so many ways to check out. The body doesn't respond to credentials. It responds to presence. And the trap of highly successful people, we're excellent at fixing. We're so good at fixing. Let me help you. This is the solution. I've got a solution for you. We optimize everything. Have you thought about, you could do it this way? But optimization is the opposite of aliveness. When effort is the problem, more effort deepens the wound. Like the trying harder and not getting anywhere. What actually works? Not fixing. Feeling. Not fixing, feeling. Not controlling. Allowing. Still very hard for me. I'm really deeply with that all the time. Not controlling. Accepting. Allowing. Not running. Staying. Not a hard one for me. For me personally, geographical stillness in Vancouver forced the truth. The body had to be heard. Your nervous system does not negotiate. It just waits for you to listen. Your nervous system doesn't negotiate. It just waits for you to finally listen. Here is what nobody tells successful people. You cannot buy your way out of numbness. You can hire the best therapists, the most expensive biohackers, the top executive coaches. You can optimize your sleep, your diet, your supplements. You can do ice baths and breath work and plant medicine. And if you're doing it to fix yourself, it's not going to work. It won't work. Because the body doesn't respond to fixing. It responds to presence, being with what is. The trap of high achievers. We think everything is solvable. We think effort is always the answer. But sometimes effort is the problem. Sometimes you're not broken. You're just tired of performing. And you don't even know how tired feels like. No amount of strategy can touch that. Because it's not a problem to solve. It's a nervous system asking to be felt. I'm going to tell you things I usually don't speak out loud. I am still hoping secretly what will fix me as a partner and more money. I'm still hoping I will be fixed when I meet my partner and when I make more money. That's what I'm reaching for right now. And also longer time, right? The current strategy, lots of manifestation. The current fantasy. Although I have to say, like right now at this time of my life, I'm feeling pretty at peace. And there's still, if only the next client signs, if only the next whatever it is, it's still a thing. Even with this current project, if only one more person subscribes, if only one more view is happening, one comment, then I'll feel whole. It's a lie. Yeah, and we all, myself included, like we all live versions of this lie that something on the outside, something external, will make us feel whole. Maybe it's a desire to belong, have deeper friendships, have friendships at all, have better sex. All those things we're secretly hoping for that will fix us from the outside. And again, for me personally, it's also a constant checking in with myself, constantly like, oh, what is the intention? Where is that coming from? Is that something that I want from the outside to make me feel better, to soothe a hurting part of me? Where can I find it on the inside? And I spoke to that in the previous episode, really this courage to feel, the courage to drop into sensation, to experience fully what it means to be alive, the full spectrum of the human experience with all its pain, with all its sadness, with all its disgust, with all its desperation, but also with all its pleasure, all its joy, all its aliveness, all its fun, all its stoke. Yeah, and that's another lie we were sold, right? It's like toxic positivity, where it's like all the time everything is good or needs to be good. It's not true. It's a lie. We're human. We're meant to feel hard things too. We're meant to feel sad and grief, and it's part of it. Got sidetracked there. Another thing I don't really speak out loud to. Some things my body knows about money that my mind refuses to accept. Does my body actually think, my body, not my brain, not my conditioning, not my scarcity ancestors, does my body actually believe money is the solution? Money will make me feel safe. What would happen if I made my 6,000 a month and still feel empty? What then? And the thing is, when I get into my mind of, strategizing, marketing, like hire this person, make those numbers bigger. But when I pause, when I put one hand on my heart, one hand on my chest, and feel my heartbeat, and feel how my breath is moving my bones, And reminding myself that right now, in this moment, I have everything I need. I am safe. I have a warm, beautiful home. I have a cozy bed. I have amazing relationships. I have direct access to nature. I have great food. My work brings me so much joy and pleasure. I have everything I need. So my body knows money is not the solution. My body knows that it's safe. And still, the mind is such a powerful little motherfucker, right? It's like, but you need to. What if you don't? What if you don't? What if you're just fine exactly where you're meant to be? You're just fine. And here comes in this piece of acceptance again, right? Like, can I accept where I am in this moment? Just right here, right now. It's so fun. It's so fun to have those moments where you're like, oh yeah, we're good. We're good. Actually, another insight, something I don't talk about usually. A part of me is terrified of not having a problem to solve. Who would I be if nothing needed fixing? If I couldn't optimize, strategize, or effort my way through? What identity would I lose? The helper, the achiever, the martyr, the one who has it all figured out? What would I have left to feel if there was nothing left to fix? There's definitely a part of me that is terrified that there's nothing to fix. What would I do? Yeah, what would I do? What would I do? What would you do if there's nothing left to fix? No problems. Just peace out. The helper, the fixer. What if there's nothing left to fix? Nothing to help with? And letting identities die is hard. It's really difficult. If this is landing in your chest right now, if you're recognizing the pattern or some of it, feel like, oh yeah, me too. I know. You're not broken. Your body is just asking to be felt, not fixed. Felt. And that takes tremendous amounts of courage. And maybe should also not be attempted alone. Your body is just asking you to be felt, not fixed. I'm going to ask you some questions. You don't need to answer out loud. Just let them land. Maybe come back. What achievement are you hoping will finally make you feel whole? What achievement are you still hoping will finally make you feel whole. And also big conditioning here, right? Like once you have the house, once you have the title, once you have the thing, you'll be fine. You'll be whole. Maybe you have all those things and there's still a hole inside of you. What is it for you? You're hoping that finally makes you feel whole. Question number 2. What are you trying to fix that actually just needs to be felt? And again, fixing might be easier than the feeling. What are you trying to fix that actually just needs to be felt? Question number 3. What is your body asking for that you keep trying to strategy your way around? What is your body asking for that you keep trying to strategy your way around? Question number 4. If nothing needed fixing, what would you allow yourself to feel? If nothing needed fixing, what would you allow yourself to feel? Just breathe. Just breathe. Feel both feet on the floor. Keep breathing. Just noticing sensation. And if that's getting too much at any point, let your eyes wander around the space and find something green you're looking at. Feel both feet on the floor. Breathe and notice. Your body doesn't need credentials. It responds to presence. And when you're ready, you can stop fixing and start feeling. If you feel this in your body, the weekly letter from me to you, from me, Flora Petri, to you, is below. This is where I share first about my exclusive private programs and what wants to move through me. Like, comment, share with someone you think would benefit from this. Find me when you're ready.